love teaching social studies because there's just so many. I mean, it's like the world's soap opera. There's so much drama and intrigue, and we're dealing with people's stories, and you get to tell all the choices that were made and not made and get students to think about the world they live in now.
I teach third grade, so I get to teach everything, but I think my favorite thing to teach in third grade is reading. I want my kids to love to read when they leave me because I believe not only will reading open up doors and opportunities and choices for them, but I believe that reading will make you a better person. And really, when you boil it all down, that's what teaching's all about.
I teach AP Government and Human Geography in Tacoma, Washington. And I teach because I think that teaching is the most important profession in the world. And if I want to make the world a better place, I'm going to do it not by getting into politics, but by changing the minds of young people.
I love teaching third graders because they are opinionated and they are just discovering their sense of humor and they are usually up for anything.
I teach high school social studies, AP European history, and AP world history. And I love teaching history because it's a chance to get kids to help learn, how we've gotten to this point and where we are, warts and all, the good and the bad, but also help them, kind of figure out what might lie ahead of us based on studying those past experiences. And, that translates not just to world history, but to their own lives.
Young people should enter the teaching profession because they will have the ability to transform the lives of students. They could be the teacher that they always wanted or the teacher that inspired them. They can continue that tradition of excellence in public schooling.
We are all here on earth, I believe, to give part of ourselves back. And there's no better way to do it than through teaching, to be able to influence lives and help other people grow and to become who they were meant to be. I think is just one of the greatest gifts. So if you were wondering about what you should be when you grow up, I can tell you that teaching will be the hardest, the best, and most fun thing you'll ever do in your life.
Young people, particularly young people of color, should enter the profession because people need to see people who look like them in the classroom. I have a bunch of students who I work with who don't see people who look like them. And one of my biggest goals is to have, when I leave Lincoln High School, to be replaced by a former student.
I think right now is a great time to enter the teaching profession. There is so much opportunity for kids to be creative and for teachers to be creative, and it's so important for teachers and students to have new avenues of just putting their own personalities out into the world and making their own mark.
It is, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a very demanding profession, but I can't imagine a more rewarding profession than teaching. You get the chance to watch young people turn into young adults and move on and get successful careers and watch your former students get married and find happiness and move on and develop a life for their own. And to say that you've had a chance to influence them just even in the smallest way, you can't put currency on that at all. It's such an honor to be able to say you're a part of that.
If I had one piece of advice to current educators, it would be to stay in the classroom, but use your teacher voice to advocate for our students and our teaching profession.
To find your marigold. And what I mean by that is when we do gardening, we do something called companion planting, which means we plant some plants next to others because they help them grow. And marigolds do that. They help repel pests. So they help young tender plants grow to be big and strong and healthy. And so if you can find your marigold, if you can find that teacher in your building who is always trying something new, who makes you feel good about what you do, who loves the kids and they love what they do, if you can find them and really connect with them, they will help you be a better teacher too.
Always hold on to high expectations for students. Don't settle. Like they can do it. They can do it. One of the biggest things that really frustrates me is when people have low expectations for kids of color, like they can do it.
To find your team and find your coach. And remember that your voices are stronger together.
There's a lot of times, I certainly do this, and I'm sure you do too, that you come home at the end of the day and you're feeling a little burnt out, and you're feeling like maybe you're not able to reach the kids or make a difference, or you're not making a lot of progress, and you don't hear from every student, and you don't get feedback from all of your kids. And so the reality is, whether you know it or not, you're making a difference. And I've learned that from having alumni come back and tell me that I would at least expect, the least expected kids would come back and say things to me. So you never know. You never know who you're helping out. You never know who you're affecting. So don't ever tone it down. Don't ever give up. Just keep going because you're doing good work out there.
I am Daniel Jost, 2016 California Teacher of the Year.
I'm Kathy Whitehead. I'm the 2016 Tennessee Teacher of the Year.
I'm Nate Bowling, 2016 Washington State Teacher of the Year.
I am Talia Edlin. I am the 2016 Maine Teacher of the Year.
I'm Tim Royers, the 2016 Nebraska Teacher of the Year.
And I encourage you
And I encourage you
And I challenge you
And I encourage you
I challenge you
to teach like me.
to teach like me.
to teach like me.
to teach like me.
to teach like me.